Hey guys, so today my objective, one of my clients bought one of those big canopies. It's a big kit. It's that you can get online or at Home Depot, and it covers your vehicle. They have an RV, a small RV type van. They want to have it covered because it gets a lot of leaves all over and it gets real dirty. So obviously when you're putting some of those things together, it's a kit, and sometimes you have to customize it to get it to fit in the spot you want it to put it. Alright, so basically you can see what I'm dealing with. Here's the wall that I'm going to be attaching to. This is basically 20 feet, so that's how long the entire canopy is going to be. And then this is the brick that I'm going to be anchoring into. So what I have to do is I have to do something similar to this, and I will be drilling holes and then cementing with the anchor. These are the parts and pieces that come with it. The canopy's right there. And these are the anchors it comes with. They obviously are going to be no good because, I mean, that's just a solid piece. That's all it is. There's nothing that's going to be keeping it in the ground, so I'm not going to be using those. Okay, so there was a sensor light up there. I had to take it down because once this canopy is up, it's going to completely cover. It's going to go from this end of the building all the way to the other end of this building, and the sensor will be no good. So you can walk right by underneath the canopy and the sensor's not going to pick you up. So what I have to do is I have to cap that off, and then I have to move it down above the window once everything's done for the sensor to work properly. And because once this canopy's up, you're not going to be able to do any work or maintenance on that on the light either. So if the light goes out, even though it is LED, or you have problems with it, you have to take the whole canopy off in order to get there. So this is just another little step to this project. And as you can see, everything slopes towards me, and it also is uneven. So the first thing I noticed about the directions, which is nice, is that every single one of the pieces is numbered. So it has like a stamp on it, which makes it fairly easy to, you just have to dig through the pile of stuff to find it. Alright, so as I was putting this together, you can see it basically goes from one part of the building to the other part. That end over there is going to end up lifting up and attached to the wall. This end over here is going to end up 3 poles. I'm using 3 poles instead of 2 poles. That way it's high enough that she can get the van underneath it. Otherwise the van will barely fit and it will end up possibly getting hit. So it's better to have it a little higher by adding and taking away the poles on this side, one section of the pole, and putting it on this side. So this is 3 poles high. This side can be as high as it wants because I'm attaching it to the wall instead of using the poles. But I did end up hitting a snag right there. They ended up giving me a 45, which is for the center, instead of a 90. So I need a 90 right there. So I'm gonna have to finish this up another day. But got a good start so far. Hey guys, so I am here working on this job again. The piece that they gave me, I had to stop doing it because this piece was a 45, not a 90. So now that we got that finished, now we can go and start raising this up. It seemed like they had shortened us some pins. These pins right here, you can see how short they are. These are the proper pins that are supposed to be in here, but they only give us 4 instead of 8. So since this side is not going to be attached to the ground, it's going to be attached to the wall of the house, I use the pins over there for this side, so it is a little longer, but that's okay. It's, you know, it's not really going to be as noticeable because the canopy is actually going to come all the way down here and cover to this hole right here. Make sure that all these holes are all in line with the same direction, because you're going to be wrapping the strap around and then hooking it into the hole. So we're basically just lifting one end at a time, section at a time. We have one more section to lift this side up, and it's tilting, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lift this side up and then screw it onto the wall. I use the anchors, the pressure treated wood. We're going to paint this the same color as the house, so it's not going to be as noticeable. And then that's the old light that I'm going to put caulking around so it's weatherproof, and then I'm going to move the wires, and I'm going to move them probably right here, so the light's going to be here underneath the canopy, which would make more sense. Another reason why we are attaching this to the wall is so that the water and leaves will have this much of a gap to fall down. If you attach this straight to the house, then you're going to have water and leaves and junk that's going to get caught between the wall and the canopy. So that's another reason why we are attaching it to the wood instead of the actual house itself. Alright, so these are the screws I used, 1.5 inch screws, which are, they have a really big head on them, so that's why I use them for the poles. So you can see here, I screwed these, and these are just long enough to where, you know, they won't hit the house, and they're nice and thick, so they'll hold that in nice and tight. Well, another thing you can do is you can pre-drill. Let's see if I got it in here. You can also use a metal screw, and you can screw one of these into the center, and that will keep this from sliding up and down. I mean, this is on there really tight, so, and you can see I couldn't even close the gap all the way because it was on there so tight. So, but you can also add these in there if you want. Another cool feature I was thinking about as I was doing this is you can put lights in here, so the lights will glow on the ground, which will look kind of cool. Just something to add. But yeah, that's basically it. We were able to get it all up there, so it looks really nice, really tall. And again, you can see there's still enough room up at the top in the corner from the roof to where you can put the tarp over the top, and it'll lay over the top. And then there's the gap I told you about. So there'll be the gap in between the two, so that you don't end up having all the leaves and everything getting stuck on this side. So now the next step is going to be to, now that this side is done, we need to now anchor these into the ground. It's a two-person job. I mean, 4 would make it even go by even faster, but you can get it done with 2 people. We basically just kind of, you know, lifted this side up 3 feet, and then lifted that side up 3 feet, and then this side, and then that side. And we use the ladders to help lift and keep one side up as we lifted the other side. So the only thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is they don't come with bolts, because you can see those holes up there. There's nothing, you know, no bolts or anything to hold those together. Now, maybe those holes are for the canopy, but we'll find out. To be able to hold the canopy down. Alright guys, so it's all finished. I did end up using these screws to, just as an added support. It will help keep the pipe from doing any twisting or popping in and out, so I just added that there as well. Again, you can add some lights coming out of here, something like that. That would look pretty cool. And then I'm going to paint all this the same color as the wall. My initial thought of this process, the canopy, is I would probably give it a, I get a 5 out of 5. It's got a good, it's good if you're not going to have wind. If you live in an area with a lot of wind, I would consider either getting a stronger, better supportive, because these bands right here, they're just a quick band and then that's it. So any really cold weather, any hot weather can make those things snap off or break. Same with these ends over here. These ends, you know, this is just some rope that's just kind of twisted, holding on to the corner over here, and then it just goes into this hole. So, I mean, that's not necessarily something I feel is as strong as it could be. And then you have the plastic legs. So, you know, plastic legs aren't always the best. I mean, this thing is pretty solid. There were no pins for these, so if you wanted to, you can get some bolts and put drill holes the rest of the way, and then put a bolt in there just to make it a little stronger. But yeah, overall, I mean, this will do the job. They just wanted the leaves to not fall on the camper, so they have to clean it all the time with all the gunk and the mud and everything. So yeah, I mean, it'll definitely make a difference here. So that's it. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe and follow. I'll always have different projects that I'm working on. So thank you.